Oh yeah.
It's day number 4 of the 13th World Military Women's Football Championship here in Spokane as the Netherlands get ready to take on Canada. Hello, bonjour, hi everybody, I'm Alex Gould. Alongside me is U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. Delighted to have you on with us today. 12:30 a.m. in the Netherlands. We hope you've stayed up late. Bedankt for tuning in. Not far from the Canadian border here in Spokane, but to all the Canadian fans in maybe Montreal or Toronto, we say thank you, merci, get some dinner, and come watch these women battle it out on the pitch. Shelby, both of these teams are coming off tough losses. It feels like something has to give for one of these nations.
You know what, after yesterday's nail-biting game, I really don't know if we can see anything better. So I'm hoping here that these teams have had some time to practice, to get some rest, and they're going to bring their A game out here on the field today.
You talked about yesterday. Let's take a look at some highlights from Group A action yesterday. It started with Germany and Belgium. Germany was able to improve to 6 points in Group A. Germans did a mighty fine job over Belgium, thanks to a 5-0 shutout over their counterpart in Belgium, while Cameroon beat the host, the United States, 2-1, thanks to a dramatic 79th-minute goal by Tabe to stun the Spokane crowd. Of course, our crew put together some highlights, and it looks like this is a lot of highlights from around the tournament. You see a lot of different women who have competed, Shelby, and what a tournament it's been.
I think there's a lot of great skill, a lot of great teams here today. And like I said, I think this is kind of where it's going to get to where people have been rested. They've been practicing. I know that practice days, they've been allowing the fields to be open there at Fairchild Air Force Base to practice and to scout. So I think that this is really where we're going to start seeing the teams really mesh together and play the best game.
That was a goal for the United States by Haley Robertson to knot things up at 1 against Cameroon, but wound up not being enough as Cameroon added that second by Tabe, as we talked about. Let's take a look at Group B and see an updated standings going into today. You see right there, we got both groups up there. Look at that. Crew's doing a mighty fine job. So Germany has the 6 points in Group A, United States and Cameroon, but Cameroon has that win head-to-head over the United States yesterday, and they have only played one match, Selby. Ireland and Belgium yet to get a point. But Group B, France is off today. You see South Korea has 3 points. They're tied with France. We're going to see them in the nightcap against Mali. We will see Mali for the very first time. And as we were talking about, Canada and the Netherlands looking for a point and potentially 3 points here today. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. See it right here on your screen. Goal differential is not great. Canada lost 6-0 to South Korea in their first match on Tuesday, and then the Netherlands lost to their European counterpart in France, also 8-0 on Tuesday night. So, getting ready for the CISM March here. But it's 90 degrees, Shelby, 32.2 degrees Celsius. As we've talked about on the turf surface, it is even hotter, about 8 to 10 degrees hotter. So that gets the pitch almost up to 100 degrees. So the CISM March is coming up here. You can see this is to kind of combine both nations. We've talked about this. You see the referees in there. All the players are behind the flags. And also, too, a big shout out to the volunteers who have helped here from Fairchild Air Force Base and all around the Spokane area.
I was just going to mention that. You forgot one very big group of people, and it was those volunteers. They've been working hard out here out in the sun. You see them in the bright yellow neon shirts, and they are really rock stars out here making sure everything goes very smoothly and carrying those flags right there beautifully.
So following this CISM march here, you're going to get the national anthems for the Netherlands and for Canada.
The national anthem of Netherlands. The national anthem of Canada.
Beautiful national anthems there. Both teams going to get their lineups announced while we take a look at the lineups first for Canada. They are the home team in their red and white jerseys. You take a look there. The keeper is Caroline Wood. The left back for Team Canada is Emily Cote. The left center back is Kimberly O'Rourke. Right center back, Catherine McCaskill. The right back is Claudia Rousseau. Then from left to right again, Bailey Tupin's the left wing. She's one of the captains of this Canadian team. Michaela Talbot's the left midfielder. Right midfielder, Kaylee Carlisle, also a captain. And then you have a forward in Emma Perry, left wing, and Bailey Tupin, as we talked about, and then a right wing and Paige Campbell, as well as a striker and Mir Muska. Now we take a look at the Netherlands and how the Dutch will line up today. They're starting 11. Zoe Broekhoven is in between the pipes, and then left to right on the defense. Left back is Maud Soekbal. The left center back is Aramijn van der Velde. Right center back Emma Verdasdank. The right back is Susanna Block. The left mid is Maura Misaglia. The right mid is Leonie Trump. And then the left wing is Liana van der Poel. Forward for the Netherlands is Bo Peters. Right wing is Daniela van der Velde. And to round out the Dutch lineup and starting 11, striker and Margriet Somsom. So those are the two lineups for today's match. And again, the storyline coming in, both of these teams were shut out by South Korea and France. So what do you think both head coaches were saying to their respective nations and athletes? Shelby.
You know, something that I think that they might have really talked about here on the sidelines and in the locker rooms is they're starting over, right? They both have the same standing. No one has the advantage over the other. So I think that they're really using this as an even playing field and a blank slate to really put their name out there in the tournament as they play their second games.
Let's take a look at the referees today. I think we have a good graphic on that. You saw the Netherlands, the Dutch huddling together, as well as Team Canada here as they get ready to go. But you see the referees there. 2 from Germany, 2 from Ireland. The head referee today is Jan Wild from Germany. The AR1 is Paul Kavanagh from Ireland. The AR2 is Tobias Kosiski from Germany. And the 4th official in today's match is Jonathan Hennessy, also from Ireland. So Canada is going to start out with the ball. But again, really hot here today. Appreciate you joining us here in the booth. Appreciate you joining our terrific crew. So we get ready for some stellar soccer, some stellar football. Mir Moska is the center forward, the striker for Canada, as we are underway. That's Catherine McCaskill. Plays it out wide to Rousseau. And a turnover right away for Canada. Instead, we will get a foul on the Dutch. So neither of these teams yet to score in this tournament, coming into their second match. Here on the near side for Canada, Claudia Rousseau. Rousseau trying to find Muska in the middle. Muska with a good move. Does she want to try one just outside the 18? Try to dribble to her left. That's Tupin, the captain. Denied for now. It's going to find the feet of Muska over on the far flank. Kaylee Carlisle. The glasses and the goggles and all of Kaylee Carlisle. One of the toughest players we've seen in this tournament so far. And so is this woman with the ball at her feet, and Mount Soukbal. Remember, she got a yellow card last match. So we'll see how aggressive she is as the left back today for the Netherlands.
And the hope is she doesn't get another yellow card, because then she'll have to sit out the next game.
If you get a yellow in back-to-back matches, whether you agree with that rule or not, have to sit out the next match. There's a good close-up there of Jonathan Hennessy. Chance to talk to him before the match. He was fired up for this matchup between the Netherlands and Canada. All the referees, a lot. Caroline Wood, and she got tackled inside the 6.
So actually, one of the first few women's football teams in this league was the Netherlands. They were the first ones to really ask that question, you know, why are there no female teams here in this league? And they themselves in Great Britain were actually the first 2 teams to be created and to play.
Hen Blickman for the Netherlands travels to every women's football event, women's soccer event. Was a big reason why CISM women's football was started, as a foul is called on Bo Peters. But yeah, you're right, and then he was calling around. Mr. Blickman made some calls and said, anybody else be interested in playing some women's football, some women's soccer? The first to raise their hands were the Canadians. So Canada was the first host nation back in 2002. Keeper well outside the 18 is Zoe Brookhoven, clearing it away from Mir Muska. But Canada raised their hands and said, we'll host. Who else wants to participate? And the other two nations that said we'll play were Germany and the United States. The United States wound up winning their only gold in CISM women's soccer in 2002 in Kingston, Ontario, Canada.
And now when you think about it, those three teams have really flourished, and now it's 140 nations, 30 sports through the CISM program and committee, and it's just flourished from that 2002 first match.
Yeah, this is tied with 2018 in El Paso we've talked about throughout the tournament for the most participating nations in women's football and women's soccer. 10 nations represented here in Spokane.
And really one we haven't seen yet is Mali, and they will be playing later today.
Now Mali taking on South Korea. South Korea coming off their dominant 6-0 victory over Canada. We'll see. Is this going to draw a card? No, it's not. Just a stern talking to that time for Leonie Trump. Good ball out wide on the far flank here for the Dutch. Sum makes a couple of moves, has someone in the middle off the left foot and then skied in the air, but it is saved by Caroline Wood. Good run there by Sum, who found Bo Paters, but Paters didn't get enough on the left foot. Paters was wide open. That was miscommunication defensively between the back four for Canada. A lot of space there, Shelby, inside the 18. As we take a look, no one marked Paters. Going back to that last play, Rousseau, she's the right back, so I'm not sure she was necessarily assigned to Paters in that spot. But Paters actually did a nice job kind of looking around when she was outside the 18, seeing that no one was in that one crease, that one spot inside the box. Got to it. The ball just missed the good part of her left foot, which couldn't give given their Dutch their first goal of the match and their first goal of the tournament.
You know, something interesting I learned today about Jerome is that, or about Paters, is that her teammate, number 17, Jerome, she was Paters' basic military instructor. And so she taught her, and now they're playing in the same league together. I think that's one of the most interesting stories here that I've heard about the Netherlands team.
That is terrific. Sick ball. Just talking about Paters. And you probably have a lot of that. Flag goes up. Offside. Boy, that was real close there as Muska made the move. Just a split second too early. I'm sure that there is a lot of those stories in this tournament about someone training another and also helping each other on the pitch.
I mean, I can't even really imagine getting to play with someone that you watched come into the military, and now you guys are playing on a military team together. I mean, you really get to see how they have molded and grown since that you had the chance to mentor them. I think that's really exciting.
Van der Velde. Right foot cross, but couldn't connect with Sum.
That was absolutely a good look, though. I think we'll be seeing a lot of those split through breakaways here soon.
Caroline Wood in the Royal Canadian Navy from Coldbrook, Nova Scotia. She's an intelligence officer. That is her military profession. So free kick here for Canada. We're on the middle of the pitch on the far side. O'Rourke takes it. Both teams feeling each other out. Up to reach the 15th minute. Taking an attempt there, but nowhere as close was Muska. So Zoe Brookhoven from Nielstad. She's military police. That's the branch of service she's in the Netherlands. She's having to police the attack and make sure that her back line is in order as well.
I see what you did there.
We talked about it, organization. I know you can speak to this more than me. In the military, there's a lot of organization. I think there's a lot of ways that you can be tactical in the military that can help you out on the pitch. We've seen that from a lot of these women, very organized and very comfortable in pressure situations.
You know, Alex, I think it's a little bit of both. It's the best of both worlds here. And I think you have seen it so far here in this tournament. The military, they are organized, you know, but they're also flexible. Things happen all the time that change the plans, and we're very flexible at making sure that the job still gets done, even though something may have changed from our original plan. And I think that's really what helps these ladies out here is, you know, maybe the plan's not going, or the strategy is just not going the right way that they want it to, but they need to make adjustments so that way they can capitalize on what is happening on the field and move forward from that original thought.
How much, too, did they teach you in the military to, at times, like you said, adapting, you know, facing adversity, right? So if someone scores a goal, kind of having the mindset of, hey, it's one goal, let's fight our way back, let's play the style of soccer we're used to.
You know, in the Air Force, they say a phrase, it's adapt, react, recover. And it's pretty much exactly what you're talking about. You know, you adapt, you react to the what has happened, and then you recover, and you just get back into your game and get it out of your head.
What's so fascinating, too, is for all these women, these strong, powerful women out on the pitch, serving their countries, that is their job. That is what they do. They do that proudly. They serve proudly. And then athletes second. It's amazing, though, how in shape, because that's what the military is doing for a lot of these women out on the pitch. So strong, being able to push off the ball so quick, and their movement so quick thinking, because you're talking about adapting and reacting. It's just amazing to see these women then get the chance to come out onto the pitch with limited practice time. But it doesn't look like that.
You know what's something even more amazing, though, is these ladies are coming up to us and talking to us and telling us about some of their hobbies outside of the military. And they are doing so much outside of the military, outside of being this athlete. And they're really filling their life with a ton of different things that they love. And just to have all of that time and motivation to do all these different things and to better themselves as people is honestly inspiring. If we were talking about the goalkeeper here for Canada, Caroline Wood, she owns a dog walking company on the side called Wood's Adventures, on top of being in the military, on top of being an athlete, and that just blows my mind.
That was a good promotion, too, for Wood's Adventures.
Absolutely.
If you're in Canada, maybe anywhere near Kingston, Ontario. I know that's where one of the bases is, or Nova Scotia's where Caroline Wood is from. Wood's Adventures, use it. It's free Navy for Canada, a stellar keeper, but also a stellar dog walker.
and plays rugby and volleyball as well. Let's just add 2 more in there.
That's a lengthy resume. That's one of those where you have to condense. A lot of times for me, I'm like, oh man, I got to add a bunch of things. I have like 3 sentences on there. What are you good at? What are you good at? For her, it's, okay, I have about 3 to 4 pages. How can we get it down and trim it down to 1 page? Could be a good chance here for Canada. Muska is on. As a teammate to her left, Muska with a try. And it is deflected and saved by Brookhoven.
Brookhoven, too, she plays at the highest amateur level in the Netherlands, so she gets to play a little bit on the side there and get some practice in.
So Muska had Carlisle to her left, elected to take the shot herself. A good save by Brookhoven, and now a corner for Canada. This is Emma Perry, one of the forwards for this Canada team. Has Talbot short. Perry, low liner. Dutch trying to clear, and they do for now.
Coming into the 21st minute here, and almost the same amount of shots on goal. Not really, I think the possession has been pretty well even. So I think this is almost a pretty good match for these 2 teams here to play against each other. And I think it's going to be hard for each other to score.
Could be a chance here for the Dutch. Right foot try, and speaking of the dog walker, and Wood, she makes the save on that strike from Misaglia. Referee plays advantage. Is the whistle going to be blown here? Was that enough of an attack? And it's going to be a Canadian throw-in anyway. Head referee there, and Jan Wild from Germany. Played advantage. Said that was enough of a Canadian attack to... So we're talking about the keeper in Wood for Canada. How about Zoe Brookhoven? Immigration officer, talked about military police. She plays at FC Rijnvogels. Her team plays at the highest amateur level in the Netherlands. So Brookhoven's playing year-round. We've seen her make a lot of stellar saves in this tournament, especially already in this match. As we get our hydration break, as a reminder, if you haven't seen the last couple of matches, the last couple of days, automatic hydration break about halfway through each half. So we get one here, stoppage, everyone gets a chance to regroup, get some water, get some Gatorade, some fluids, because it is hot out here in Spokane. And then we'll get one in the second half as well. So we say hello here in the booth. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. Really appreciate you guys joining us, whether you're in Canada or in the Netherlands. We know it's late in the Netherlands, so we hear you, we see you, and I know these women out on the pitch really deserve it. You got John. Really appreciate you guys joining us, whether you're in Canada or in the Netherlands. We know it's late in the Netherlands, so we hear you, we see you, and I know these women out on the pitch really deserve it. You got John Anderson, who I've failed to mention here. He's to our left. He's our statistician this morning. They're back in Los Angeles, and they were sad that they couldn't be with me, but they were excited to listen to the broadcast. So I know they're watching, so I say hi to them.
You know, I joked about singing happy birthday, but you will not catch me singing here on air.
So back here after the hydration break. Still 0-0. Both of these nations could not score in their previous matches, trying to find a way to reach the back of the net. Somehow, some way. That's the third time we've seen that in this tournament, an illegal throw-in. One of the simplest things you'd think in sport of soccer. We've seen that called 3 times now. Not getting the ball over the head.
I think you have to give these ladies the benefit of the doubt. I think maybe the excitement, maybe just trying to find the right person can kind of cause things like that, little mistakes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just rushing a little bit. So ball.
You know, another thing that the liaison for the Netherlands, who's been helping us out a lot, is Staff Sergeant Jessica Mock. She was telling me when we were looking at pronunciations, and I might have to pause. We were talking about pronunciations is...
Last match, if we said them incorrectly. Believe me, if we're saying any names incorrectly, any misinformation, let us know, please. Helps us out a lot. Foul call, so we'll go against the Dutch. So free kick here for Canada in their own defensive third. Pronunciations, though, that's a big deal. That's why we want to make sure that people watching in the Netherlands, as well as Canada, names are said correctly. A lot of people take pride in their first and last name, their given name, and their family name, surname. When you wear that family name on the back of the jersey, it means a lot to these women out on the pitch. So getting the names correctly is super important. That is half the job as a broadcaster, is making sure that you can say the names.
And Verdasdonk, she wrote here on this paper, don't say it like donkey. It's like the Netherlands team has the sense of humor when it comes to their names, and I appreciate that so much.
Gets a foot on it. Forces a throw-in for Canada.
As the captain here throws it in, she's an Air Combat Systems officer in the Royal Canadian Air Force.
So it looks like we're going to get a substitute here for the Dutch coming on. Don't often see this, Shelby. About to reach the 30th minute here. And the Bo Peters will stay in, excuse me. Thought Bo Peters was coming off. Get you that sub in a second. So 11 is off. So that's Susanna Block, the right back. Checking out. Checking in for the Dutch is Rihanna Udians. So Udians in and Block out. If you are marking at home, you get 5 substitutes, but only in waves of 3. I should probably clear that up and say that you get 5 substitutes, but you can only sub 3 times. If you sub at half, that doesn't count. So, some rules in there, but haven't had an issue yet.
No, Emily Cote is another one who plays year-round. She plays for the Boreal Diama Soccer Club up there in Canada.
Dutch pushing here. That one was an easy save for Caroline Wood. The Netherlands starting to string together some better passes in their attacking third.
I think, Alex, for the majority, though, it's been staying in this center third between both teams.
Yeah, it's been a stalemate. That's what we like to say here in the States. Not a lot of give on either side. And it's played to a 0-0 draw at the moment. Another chance here for the Dutch. Good closing speed, though, but it's going to be a corner. So yet again, the Dutch with a good push. That was Catherine McCaskill. Actually, that was Cote who booted it away. So Cote wanted to make sure that the attack didn't further. So we'll get a corner on the far side. Arcing into the box. Chance right foot try, pings off the post. The best look for the Dutch all tournament and all match long. That shot attempt just missed. I believe that was the substitute who just came on, and Udayans, who took that shot attempt. Sockball get to it first. Blazing speed from number 5. Plays it back to the keeper in Brookhoven.
An absolute force to be reckoned with, that defender there.
Let's take a look here. Well, that's a great camera angle. Perfect shot right there, and you can see that thing caromed off the post. Udayans couldn't believe it. Thought she struck it perfectly. Just missed. And that's what we were talking about with both of these nations in their previous matches. Is getting the ball down the pitch, right? Seeing it on your attacking third. Way easier said than done when you're playing South Korea and France, two of the best teams in this tournament. But good things happen if you can get the ball on your attacking half, on your attacking third, running down that far flank, pushing 1v1. Then you get the corner. It was a great ball by van der Velde. And Udayans, who just checked in about 5 minutes prior, just missed.
You know, I was also talking to Sergeant Mock there about Danny and Annie. Van der Velde and Van der Veld, the two 7 and 21 here on the team for the Netherlands. They call themselves Danny and Annie. And they've actually became really good friends there in 2018 when they played together on the team. And actually, after this tournament, they plan to rent a van fly to San Francisco, rent a van, and travel around the U.S. for a couple weeks after this tournament. And, I mean, that just shows how close-knit this team is, and having that friendship and the friendship that they just met in 2018 and then already are doing this kind of stuff is really, really cool to see.
You got to go to the Ghirardelli factory in San Francisco. If they can hear this, chance here for the Dutch. Decisiveness from Wood to make sure that Somsom could not connect into the back of the net. But have to get all the chocolate you can when you are in San Francisco. Golden Gate Bridge, a lot of that. Of course, being from Los Angeles, it's not that close, but travel to San Francisco all the time.
They were talking about visiting Big Sur and, of course, Las Vegas if they can get there. And I just think traveling around that part of the U.S. would be really, really fun.
It is great.
And a great relaxing time after a tournament like this.
Have you ever been to Big Sur?
I have not.
One of the most stunning places on Earth. All water by the beach.
Well, it must be a sight to see if some people from the Netherlands are here to come visit.
Yellow card here after Tupin got caught up and tangled. So that yellow card. And yellow card is going to be called against Misaglia. So Misaglia gets the yellow. She'll have to be careful the rest of this match. A try here for Canada. Boy, that was on frame. And a good try there from Emma Perry, who took one about 40 yards out inside the box. Or 40 yards out from the net. About 20 yards outside the box. Boy, that was real close.
It was a good hit on the ball, and it brings Canada's shots up to 4 against the Netherlands.
Bad turnover. Peters got a touch on it, but it was a little bit much. Came hot off the right cleat of Peters. Talked about this for Canada last match. Their back line has to be careful. Some of these strikers and center forwards. Got to make sure that those passes are accurate, they're decisive enough, and that they get to where they're going to put enough on the ball.
So something I noticed a little bit about that right there, there wasn't very many people helping there in that corner for Peters. I feel a little bit like a almost lack of movement, right? We talked about movement off the ball, but it almost seems like the Netherlands are kind of flat-footed after they pass, you know, and I don't think that we want to see that here in this game against Canada.
Peters, left foot, deflected. Good move on 2 defenders that time by Perry. Can Muska keep it in for Canada? She cannot. Tell you, Emma Perry, someone to watch here the rest of this match. That was a good stop on the ball. 2 defenders crashed. Was able to kind of backheel it behind her and keep going.
Perry's an armored officer from the Lord Strathcona's House, the Royal Canadians.
And Perry played youth soccer for Brantford Inner City Soccer and played university soccer with the Royal Military College from 2012 to 2015. And she's still playing, currently playing with their base team of Canadian Forces base in Gagetown, and join the CISM program this year in 2022. 41st minute, still 0-0 between the Dutch and Canada. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson. John Anderson also in the booth with us and our terrific crew. Slide tackle. Waiting to see if a foul was called there, if it's going to be a throw-in. So a slide tackle there from Claudia Rousseau. And the player is down for the Netherlands.
Rousseau there, she's a lieutenant in the Army, a signals officer, and she's actually the first in her family to join the Army there for the Canadians.
I believe that's Aramine van der Velde, who's down for the Dutch. Actually, the player that's down is Udians. So Udians is down. And now she's going to come back onto the pitch.
I think that was a good idea by the Canadian team, a give and go. If and only if it would have connected there.
Chance here for the Netherlands. Udians trying to say she's okay, but flies one high and over everything. And you know what, Shelby? That was because of Caroline Wood coming out and trying to cause Udians to take that shot quicker. She tried to chip it over the keeper, and it skied high.
The pressure from Woods was phenomenal, and I think it really was that rushing that made that goal just not happen. I think maybe what we've seen in the last game, push passing it into the side of the net like we've been seeing in the past couple of games would have been the move to do there.
So 45th minute, there's going to be 2 additional minutes before we reach halftime. Dutch doing a much better job of passing and going here late in the second half. They could run out of time in terms of scoring their first goal of the match, their first goal of the tournament. But I like what I've seen from the Netherlands. Player down for Canada. Another ball. Will it be saved by Van der Poel? It was, but it's going to be a goal kick. Bailey Toupin, one of the captains for Canada, is down over there on the far side.
And I don't know if you saw this too, Alex, but even when there was a breakthrough there on the right side of the field, we had 2 open players on the side, but they were kind of just standing around. I think that if we would have saw them move up she would have had a better chance to cross it over the goal like we've been seeing in all the other games here, and to get one in the back of the net.
So Tupin being attended to here. This very well could essentially run out the 2 additional minutes. We'll see if the head referee and Jan Wild wants to add any time after this to the 2 additional minutes.
Tupin, she is the first and only member of her family to join the military. She's a part-time reservist and her role in the Naval Reserves, and she's a divisional petty officer for the Naval Communicator Department. In her civilian career, she's a registered dietitian working in a hospital with patients who have undergone complex surgery. So that's interesting there, a reservist playing for the Canadian team.
So everyone coming back out onto the pitch. If it wasn't for the injury, we'd be right about the 2 additional minutes. So it's up to Jan Wild, and referee from Germany, on whether or not he wants to add anything because of the injury. We actually saw a similar situation yesterday in the Cameroon-US match, where a player went down for Cameroon, took up about 90 seconds. Could be a chance for the Dutch, but Wood yet again comes outside the 18, and that was the last attempt for the Dutch. Canada, their back line, survived the final 10 minutes or so. Good push by the Netherlands. They have some momentum, Shelby, going in to the second half, even though it's 0-0.
I agree. I think the Netherlands have really been keeping it up there on their attacking half, but really, it's a stalemate still, and I don't really see it ending anytime soon. Those breakaways and moving without the ball is really what's going to be key for these 2 teams.
So Canada and the Netherlands tied up 0-0. They will head into the locker room and make their adjustments. And we have a good package to show you guys. Matt Hester has been hard to bring you behind the scenes here at CISM. He recently caught up with the German team, who talked about their first action behind the scenes here at CISM. German team, who talked about their first action here at the tournament and what CISM means.
Gerade für uns als Deutsche. Ja, dass wir miteinander fair umgehen sollten, Respekt füreinander haben müssen und auch sollen, und dass wir uns hier ein schönes Turnier bescheren gegenseitig, und ja, dass es eine tolle Zeit wird.
it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. I want it now and I ain't never gon' back down. Said I'm fired up, I'm sorry your time's up. I see the top and I climb up. Came from the ashes, I rise up. Rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up, rise up. I want it now, I gotta rise up.
Back here in Spokane, the Netherlands and Canada, 0-0. Getting ready for the start of the second half here. Do have a little highlight reel of the first half, but that may have to hold because the second half is starting, and the Dutch start with the ball. If there have been substitutes made, they will let you know, and I believe there maybe has been a couple. But we've yet to be told about it, so once we get told, we'll let you know. Could be a chance here for Muska, but she's working 1-on-6 here. She take on 6 Dutch defenders. Dispossessed. So found Vandervelde.
I'm glad that you pointed that out. It seemed like she was up there by herself, and the rest of her team was kind of there at the 20 to 30 yard line. Just kind of hanging out.
So adjustments, Shelby. Let's talk adjustments. Let's start with Canada. What do you think Canada needs to do here in the second half to put one into the back of the net?
Well, to be honest, I think they both kind of need to do the same thing. Both teams are having a little bit of trouble moving without the ball, getting into positions for a pass or for a through ball, for a breakaway, and a little bit more aggressiveness. I think some of them are kind of just waiting for the ball to come to them. And I really think they're both going to have to make similar adjustments to kind of capitalize on the other team, really.
So you think similar for the Netherlands as well?
Yes, I agree. I think, like I said, they're kind of waiting. You know, once a pass is made, they're like, okay, my job is done here, and then stand, right? And I think that needs to be those give and goes, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that in this second half.
Something we've seen from a lot of the dangerous teams here in this tournament. Seen a lot of the backs just kind of waving some of the strikers, some of the midfielders up the pitch a little bit and booting it down into your attacking half, into your attacking third. I think I would like to see, and I think you would too, both of these nations do that. Just what I'm talking about there. Got deflected, but that's okay. Just pushing the ball on your attacking third, you never know, as Muska gets called for offside.
I think you're right, but someone needs to be there, right? I think that they need to talk, have that communication of someone, okay, I'm booting it up the field, but my teammate needs to be there. And I think that's what I'm talking about, that movement to know, okay, I need to run into this empty space to be able to receive that ball is really key.
Peters out to Vanderpool. Back to Verdosdonk. So this is interesting here. Canada not putting a lot of pressure on the backs. They have really dropped back defensively. Maybe understanding that, so you get a foul called here, free kick for the Dutch. Maybe understanding that to end that first half, the final 10 minutes or so, the Netherlands had a couple of good attacking opportunities, attacking chances, could not connect into the back of the net. So it seems like a lot of the strategy here for Canada and their manager, head coach, and James Lalonde is to drop back a couple more. So a couple of substitutions, and I'll get to it. Oh, no, we'll get to it now. Looks like 7 is coming off the pitch. That's the left wing, the captain for Canada, and Bailey Toupin. Coming in for the Canadians is Caroline Doyle. It's Doyle in and Toupin out. Chance for the Netherlands, but the header goes past the goal, and the flag went up for offside.
So our sub here, Caroline Doyle, number 13. She's played for over 20 years, and she's a naval combat information operator for the Navy of the Royal Canadian Navy.
And we've talked about that a lot throughout the tournament. Some nations, all one branch. Some nations, complete mixture of everything. That is very much the case for Canada and also for the Dutch. A lot of mixtures. Navy, military, police, Army, Air Force, all represented for the Netherlands. Then you got Royal Canadian Air Force, Canadian Army, and of course the Royal Canadian Navy.
I like that you point that out, because looking at this, you know they're military teams, but what a lot of people might, and then meshing together here as a team is also another thing that the teams have to kind of get through and work through, the storming phase of getting together to be the best team they can be.
So we shouted out a lot of people here on the broadcast, but have not shouted out our entire crew yet. Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake City, Utah, 2nd Audio Visual Squadron. And then, of course, where you are at is the Lackland Joint Base San Antonio in San Antonio, Texas, the 3rd Audio Visual Squadron. So unique, getting the chance to come together here in Spokane and have one dominant crew.
Absolutely. Not only are the teams meshing together and getting to know the girls here for the first couple weeks and months, but our team ourselves are working together as we haven't really worked together this is the first time that the two squadrons have really gotten together to work as a team, and it's been exciting so far.
Paters with a try well off the mark. Chance here for the Dutch, but it's corralled by Wood. Good closeout. That was all set up by kind of the box out there on that attempt on that run by Emily Cote. take a look. Just a blazing speed, and that's not Cote. Said the wrong name. That was Kimberly O'Rourke. Apologies to the O'Rourke family. A good kind of box out there. You see that a lot in basketball. Boxing out the person you are guarding. And you see that a lot on runs like that, just outside the 18 or even inside the 18, to allow the keeper to come get the ball.
You know, O'Rourke, she didn't even start playing soccer competitively until the Royal Military College. So having that kind of skill that early on is really awesome to see, and a good advantage there for the Canadian team.
Saglia turns it over. Trying to make a move there was Rousseau. So the Netherlands got the bronze in Kingston, Ontario, when it was first hosted back in 2002, and then won the gold medal in 2004 when it was hosted by the United States. It was just 4 nations. Throw in there for the Dutch. It was just 4 nations to start. Then it got bumped up to 6. Chance here. Ball was not corralled, but Wood will take it. It was an opportunity there for the Dutch. Good throw in there by Vanderpool. Somsom. Here on the near side, right by the corner flag. See if the Dutch want to try and cross one in here. Instead, a foul going to be called. Van der Velde got a cleat to the shin. This is an opportunity here for the Netherlands. Just outside the box. So Van der Velde will take it here. Actually, it might be Masaglia. We'll see if they want to go with Masaglia on the left foot or Van der Velde on the right.
I think it's going to be a little...
Van der Velde inside the 18. There is Masaglia, who bluffed that free kick. Out to Sockball. Now on the far side.
So going back to Van der Velde a little bit, she's actually a recruiter. She's in charge of recruiting over 4,000 members for the military, for the Canadian military. And, you know, you got to think that this is a pretty good area. Well, not area, but a good chance to kind of have some recruitment for the Canadian military, having seen these players get to play and what they get to do other than the military. It's kind of like an ambassador event. I feel like this might be something kind of cool for the Canadians who are tuning in to see that they can do a little bit of a both, being an athlete and serve their country.
So a corner kick here for the Dutch on the far side. This is going to be their corner kick specialist, their free kick specialist, in Van der Velde. 59th minute. Could this be the minute that the Netherlands gets their first tally and their first goal? High arcing inside the 18, off the head, but wide of the mark was Vanderpool. So Van der Velde found the head of Vanderpool, but Vanderpool could not connect. chance. Slide tackle. No whistle.
I've got to say, I think that chance was really the sole product of delivering and dribbling right there in the middle field where there's more pressure and there's more Netherlands teams right there in the center.
So that was Somsom, who collided with Catherine McCaskill. Referee did not blow the whistle. Jan Wild from Germany. Take a look at this collision here. Probably not worthy of a penalty kick. And now I'm wondering what's going on here.
I think it might be a drop ball.
So it looks like an indirect kick is being called here. I didn't hear a whistle. I didn't see anything. So not sure how this came about, but you don't see this a lot. But an indirect kick coming up here for the Dutch. And you're going to see a four-woman wall for Canada right in front of the post. So could this be the moment for the Dutch? Van der Velde. Going to get the tap from Somsom. Van der Velde missed wide. The angle may be too tough for Van der Velde, and we stay 0-0.
I think what I was hoping for there is being right there in front of the goalpost, just getting a body part on it from any team, really, a deflection to get it in the goal. And it might have been hard for her to kick it in, but it could have deflected into it by her teammates.
You know, I'm wondering if that was called. I saw the head ref and Jan Wild have a conversation with Caroline Wood. I'm not sure if Wood did something. And I'm not sure if we have a replay on that or not, but I don't think it was because of the tackle. That wouldn't make sense. Would have been a penalty and would have been a chance for no wall for Canada and a chance for the Dutch to score. But I saw Jan Wild go talk to Caroline Wood, and I was wondering what he was saying, and then he put the ball down just outside the 6. So I'm not sure if maybe Caroline Wood was setting up to take the kick outside the 6-yard box. I have no idea. Could be too. Maybe she tried to pick it up and move it when the ball was already placed down. So sort of what I was thinking along the lines, but it was a pass back from a back line member for Canada back to Caroline Wood, the keeper. And of course, unless it's with the head or indirectly goes back to Caroline Wood, Wood is not allowed to use her hands and pick it up. That's why that was called. Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman, he knows.
He's a lifesaver.
But I knew he'd know because flag, it hits off the corner flag and it will be a throw-in. Inches away from a corner kick. So 65th minute dominated possession here in this second half, much like they did in the second half of the first half. So now they will get their corner. Van der Velde to take it. Just feels like one of these tries for the Dutch is going to reach the back of the net. They have been pressuring and pressuring.
For Canada.
So 2 subs coming in for Canada. So checking in for the Canadians
Caroline Blue.
is number 4,
Outfield.
Jesse Roberts. Coming off the pitch for Canada, number 13, Doyle, who I think checked in earlier. So that's a sub for a sub. You don't see that a whole lot. And then also checking in for Canada is number 12, Kate Costello. Costello is in for Muska. So were we out officially? Nil-nil, 71st minute. A lot of space here. Van Velde. Can she make a move? Van Velde, 71st minute, same speed as before, but kind of gave up on the play there. Was frustrated with herself that she lost the ball. Here's one of the new substitutes for Canada. That was Jesse Roberts.
Open shoulder, start.
Wood almost lost it there on that cross.
Kind of a 2v1 over there.
Chance here for Udians, but Udians too much. And it was deflected, so it will be a corner on the far flank for the Netherlands. Final 20 or so minutes in this first match of the 4th day of this championship. Van der Velde to take the corner kick yet again.
Like I was saying earlier, Alex, I think these teams are pretty well matched. We have not seen it take this long for a goal
Into
to
the
be
box
scored.
here. The Dutch, Masaglia, found her feet, and it is cleared away. It will be a throw-in for the Netherlands. That was corner kick number 3 for the Dutch. We'll throw it in quickly here. Masaglia trying to find a teammate. No one was there. Good back heel. Souk ball. And a foul going to be called against the Netherlands. Time starting to tick away a little bit. Still got about 16 plus minutes. Player is down for Canada. That's Emma Perry.
Have these informal water breaks, so they are getting hydrated here for the second half.
And this one might be the legit hydration break because Perry's off and the teams are talking, and now the referees are talking, and I believe this is the hydration break. All right, so it came a lot later than we thought it would, but it has happened. We've had a lot of stoppages here in this second half. Again, it is pretty hot here in Spokane, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 32.3 or so degrees Celsius. But if you stayed up late in the Netherlands, we really appreciate it. I know these women appreciate it. I know it's late where you guys are, 2 in the morning to be exact, a little after 2. Alex Gould, U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt-Johnson, our terrific audiovisual squadrons who have come together for this wonderful event. Next match is between Mali. First time we will see them, not just in this tournament, but the first time we will ever see them in women's football. So, both of these teams in their group, they will see them at some point. Canada trying to defend the counter, and that was all Emily Cote. Emily Cote is one of 4 Canadians that joined the team the day before they left to come to Spokane, as that shot ricochets off Souk Ball, and now the counter could be on for the Dutch. Roberts, Talbot, Costello, and Cote. Costello, who just checked in, seen Talbot already today. They all joined the team, Shelby, one day prior to leaving to come to Spokane. And he had 4 other players.
Now that's a hard thing to do, you know, coming to a different country. Not only just coming to a different country to come play with a new team, but a brand new team the day before. That is impressive.
Getting us a lot of the info for Canada, have to shout her out again, is Melanie Arsenault, one of the managers of this Canadian team, a construction engineer officer. She's just been phenomenal in getting so much information. A lot of these stories and facts that were given about Canada, well, a big part of that is because of Melanie Arsenault. One of the momagers, one of the 3 momagers. That's what they call them, 3 managers, and they call themselves the momagers, as well as Lauren Flaherty and Shannon Brown. Good header here. Som. Right foot cross. Could this be the first one on the back side of the play? Was Udians. Could not connect with the left foot.
Wow, it just takes one time for that foot on the ball to get it in, and that's going to be that 1-0 score that we need here.
That was a terrific ball by Som. And Udians just could not get the left foot high enough or in time to put it into the back of the net. Take a look here. Good ball, and just ahead of Udians. There's a lot of position switches, too, for Canada that I'm noticing. I mean, Kimberly O'Rourke was the starting left center back in this match, and now she's playing striker. Talk about a utility player, someone who can move around the pitch and play wherever. I know you said that you played a lot of different positions. it's got to be good and a good feeling to have a player like O'Rourke who can say, sure, you need me in the back line, I'll play the back line. You want me to be a striker? Great. You want me in the middle of the pitch? Great. If I have to have the keeper's gloves on, I'll do it.
You know, I think it might even be part of their strategy. The Netherlands came out with a 0-1 loss against France, and I think that maybe they were like, hey, maybe we need to switch something up. That obviously wasn't working, so I think having that utility player really, really helps out the team strategize and mix things up for the next game.
Not a good decision there. Carlisle, one of the captains for Canada. All of a sudden here in the last couple of minutes, it's been Canada offensive-minded on the attack, trying to push, trying to find something. Both of these teams have not scored for 170 minutes. Chance here for Canada. Just outside the box, no call. Jan Wild wasn't going to change the match on a penalty.
Some pretty nice footwork there.
Perry going to take a shot. Brokoven was right there. Not a bad idea there.
This is also Perry's first time participating in a CISM tournament. So she came out new, and she's going out and making some moves here for the Canadian team.
I like what Udians did there. It was too much on the pass. But I like what Udians did. She tried to stay on side as long as she could, and the flag did stay down. That was kicked a little bit out of the reach by Verdolsdonk. Here's Paters with the interception. Udians here on the near side. Ball into the middle. Somsom takes a wild shot, and it will be a goal kick for Wood. Couple of subs for Canada. 5 and 10 checking in for 3 and 16. So 5 is into the match. That's Amanda Courtois von Spite. And then also Avery Stover. So 5 for 3. Courtois von Spite. Somsom. Soup ball. Soup ball tried with the left, now with the right. No one there.
And I think we've seen that a lot, right? No one there. Right there in front of the goal box. There's really not a ton of players that are pressuring the goalkeeper and making sure they get a touch on the ball. Nice give and go there. We have a few families here we want to make a shout out to. I know that the Campbell family, for number 3, Paige Campbell, they are watching. And her dad used to serve in the Royal Canadian Air Force. And the Muska family is also watching. A shout out to Lewis, her mom, her dad, sister, and brother. And thanks for watching us here today on this.
Udion's here inside the box, no call. Udion's will be asked by the head referee and Jan Wild to get up. Real close. See if we can take a look at this one again. This could have decided the match if Jan Wild determined it was indeed a penalty, and definitely not. Good call. As Rousseau definitely got ball. Peters out wide to Sukbal. Approaching the 86th minute. Sukbal pinged that off a Canadian defender and Costello. And now sub coming in for the Dutch. 13 is in for 3. So Verdelsdonk is out. 13 is in. And 13 for the Netherlands is Lindsay Habriel. Misaglia. On the other side of the pitch, Vanderpool. Nowhere's close. So Netherlands with possession about 55-45. Every match in this tournament has seen a ball go to the back of the net, has seen a goal. This could be the first one that ends 0-0. The Netherlands trying to change that here in the closing stages, the final moments of this match. I think Canada, Shelby, they'd be content with a 0-0 draw. They have been on the defensive here for the last 10 minutes or so.
I think they.
And as I say that, of course, this could be an opportunity on the counter for Stover. Stover, good defense there on the back line for the Dutch. That was Habriel who just checked in. So a couple of new subs went at it. Habriel won the battle.
I don't know if you caught that, Alex, but it looks like some disappointment there from Van der Velde for her teammates, really.
And I feel like with that frustration for the Netherlands, I almost think, too, I'd like to see both nations on an all-out attack here. I'm not saying you're going to win the group. South Korea and France have looked like the two best teams. I have not seen Mali yet, of course, but, boy, those 3 points versus the 1 is a big difference if you want a chance to go to the gold medal match or at least the silver medal, or excuse me, the bronze medal match.
You know, and then you say that, and I was expecting, too, an all-out offensive for both teams, but I'm really not seeing a ton of tenacity from either of them, I feel like, in the second half.
Sukbal, good move. Sum. Flag stays down. Lost the ball, though. Started moving without the soccer ball. You can see Sum is gassed. Good pass by Peters, who found Van der Velde. Now Misaglia well off into the back of the net. We see it, but it's not going to count. 90th minute. There will be 4 minutes of added time. So a little under 5 minutes or so left in this match. That has played for the most part to a stalemate, to a 0-0 draw. But you never know. See if one of these nations can provide some drama here in the final moments.
This is crunch time, and I would hope that any tricks and tips on the sleeves of these teams, this would be the time to pull it out and get it in the back of the net.
Pursuit lost it, so a throw in here for the Dutch, and actually it looks like it's going to be a free kick for Canada. So Rousseau to take it. Booting it down the pitch. Good left leg. And off of Peters. Now Soekbal. Soekbal out wide. Who's going to make a run here for the Dutch? Van der Velde. Wood well out. Good decision there by Caroline Wood. Carlisle, the captain. I think you could look at it two ways here. Both nations get a point. So they see a point up on the board. Obviously, you're trying to come away with 3. I think maybe more disappointing getting that the Netherlands had a lot of chances.
Alex, the competition so far in the tournament has been a lot. The majority of it as shutouts. And this, I mean, a shutout for both teams, but really an exciting game. You really didn't know where it was going to go each time. I think it was well equally matched. And you know what? Right now, I'm just ready for some cake.
Good old-fashioned cake. You can see the handshakes here. These two sides understanding they left it all out on the pitch. But Carlisle, the captain, gave it everything she could there. But our next match